Hi, I'm the Boss Problem Buster, founder of the Pay Raise Commando, a senior organizational consultant of 24 years, having worked across cultures, industries, and ranks with 7,250 employees trained between us, my team and I. I'm also a social psychologist with a master's and a bachelor's degrees, both with honors. My team and I train passed over corporate professionals like you to get that pay raise and promotion you're overdue for so that you can finally kill your Monday blues before you sink further and bring your inner joy back, which is the best part of my job and the goal of this channel. Now, back to the salt mines. Okay, time to put everything together. Your boss is akin to those parents with the good boy and the bad boy. The good boy, let's now call him a good employee because we want to apply the analogy to your workplace reality. So the good employee is good from the boss's perspective, which is the whole point of this whole masterclass. He is good in the sense that the boss does not dread him and does not expect any overt objection or any sort of retaliation from him, the good employee, in terms of damaging the work in any way in reaction to the boss's decision. And that lack of dread is true even when the boss's decision is to pass over said good employee for a promotion or a pay raise or both. The flip side is that the boss does dread the bad boy. Let's now call him a bad employee. He dreads him in regards to any possible reaction to every move the boss makes as his boss. Will there be a tantrum? Will there be a delay in deadlines? Will bad employee incite others in the team against the boss? Which brings us full circle to where we started. The different scenarios your boss is frantically running in his head because he does not know whether you're going to be a good employee or a bad one after being passed over by him in terms of how subdued or vocal your reaction would be, how implicit or explicit your disappointment will be expressed, and whether you would keep it between yourself and him, the boss, or try to drag as many people in the team in as possible. And because he does not know which of those scenarios you're going to play out, he dreads you and has anxiety of you not being promoted by him, just like you do, maybe even more. So once again, QED. Furthermore, this is why your boss, as any other boss to be fair, will always, listen closely, he will always take the good boy / employee for granted, trusting that that front is secure for him while constantly trying to appease the bad boy / employee in order to divert himself from any potential conflict that is always on the horizon with a bad boy / employee in his team. And actually, if you stop to think about it, you'll see this paradox is true for every facet of life, not just work, relationships, family, friends, the lot. So, Dorothy, now that your little doggy Toto has pulled back the curtain on your boss's psychology, just as promised, you understand how and why your boss is much more vulnerable than you might have originally thought him to be. So, not the all-powerful Wizard of Oz, but just some guy pulling on some levers, quite clueless as to what to do in the face of direct or even a potential conflict. Indeed, as you are going through your 5 stages of grief, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, as the famous psychiatrist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross postulated, your boss is going through 5 stages of his own, and here they are as per my observations over the years. We've actually already touched on most of them, but let me just wrap it up nicely for you. The first stage is anxiety. This is true especially if you were indeed a valid contender for that promotion or pay raise or both. The more valid you were, the more anxiety your boss experiences at the time leading into the decision while making it, which is, by the way, he probably would have liked not to fall on his shoulders at all, and right after making the decision to pass you over. And it's easy to understand why. The closer the race was, the more difficult it was for your boss to choose. Which of course begs the question, what was the tipping point against you, if indeed it was a close call, or if it turned out it wasn't a close call, why wasn't it so? And worse yet, why did you think it was when it wasn't? Many heavy issues we need to seriously drill down into in the future, as we most definitely will. I'm actually writing a book about it, there's so much to say. But for now, let's go on with the 5 stages that your boss goes through after having passed you over. Number 2 is monitoring. This is a highly alert and tense time for your boss as he carefully observes your reaction and its influence on everybody else's within the team, especially monitoring the tension, either explicit or implicit, that is bound to exist between you and the one who got your promotion, plus the whole office political dynamics as a result of that. All that while wishing you would either curb your emotions as much as possible, or that if you do express your disappointment explicitly, that it will be manageable and not distract the team too much from its needed performance. And now the road bifurcates. If it turns out that you are indeed subdued, whether truly subdued or just passive-aggressively so is another matter, but at this point your poor boss will gladly take any form of subdued. So if you're subdued, and if the impact on the political and professional and interpersonal dynamics within the team is minimal, then the next 3 stages he would go through to complete his cycle of 5 are what I call the 3 R's. Relief, reassurance of his decision not to promote you but that other guy, and resumption of business as usual. This is what your boss hopes happen. In other words, this would happen if you turn up to be a good boy / employee. However, if you're not as subdued in your reaction to being passed over as your boss would have hoped, then he goes through a totally different set of 3 steps. These would be stress, wondering how difficult is it going to be, how long will it last, how will it affect the team's deliverables, then appeasing, working out a way to give you something as a consolation prize, and lastly, containing, lowering the flames enough so that he will have bought himself some more time to find another opportunity for you as a compensation for having failed you the first time. In other words, this would happen if you turn up to be a bad boy / employee. So now that you know, as promised, I always keep my word, which do you prefer to be? The good boy / employee or the bad boy / employee? If you'd like the full transcript of this video and all the videos on this channel, see the link in the description. It's on our website, bossproblembuster.com, because it's too long to paste here, so not a trick to get you there. But if you do hop over, you'll find many practical reads and a forum where you can discreetly and anonymously ask us anything in regards to landing that promotion and pay raise, to which we reply very quickly. Each video drops inconvenient truth bombs on you right, left, and center, all very direct, pragmatic, and very much non-PC. No fluff, no bullshit. So, if you'd like to get a promotion with a pay raise, or a pay raise independent of a promotion, kill your Monday blues and bring your inner joy back. And if you can handle the truth, you can handle the truth. I'm channeling Jack Nicholson. Then subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell so that we can meet again.